Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
Eric,
Yeah, today is the 24th of July 2021 and the time now is 6:16 a.m. Well, today is a reading session and we are going to continue reading the book Atomic Habit. So before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. Okay, so we are at line 1052. Yeah, you may
examples
you may start now.
habit becoming an early riser. Phrase 1. Home by 10 p.m. every night. Phrase 2. Apple devices, TV, phone, etc. Turns off by 10 p.m. every night. Phrase 3. Be in bed by 10 p.m. every night. Reading book, talking with your partner. Phrase 4. Lights off by 10 p.m. every night. Phrase 5. Wake up at 6 a.m. every day.
Becoming vegan. Phase 1. Start eating vegetables at each meal. Phase 2. Stop eating animals with four legs. Cow, pig, lamb, etc. Phase 3. Stop eating animals with two legs. Chicken, turkey, etc. Phase 4. Stop eating animals with no legs. Fish, clams, scallops, etc. Phase 5. Stop eating all animal products. Eggs, milk, cheese.
Starting to exercise. Phrase 1. Change into without clothes. Phrase 2. Step out the door. Try taking a walk. Phrase 3. Drive to the gym. Exercise for 5 minutes and leave. Phrase 4. Exercise for 15 minutes at least once per week. Phrase 5. Exercise 3 times per week.
Nearly any larger life goal can be transformed into a 2 minute behavior. I want to live a healthy and long life. I need to stay in shape. I need to exercise. I need to change into my workout clothes. I want to have a happy marriage. I need to be a good partner. I should do something each day to make my partner's life easier. I should meal plan for next week.
Whenever you are struggling to stick with a habit, you can employ the 2 minutes rule. It's a simple way to make your habits easy. Chapter summary. Habits can be completed in a few seconds but continue to impact your behavior for minutes or hours afterward. Many habits occur at decisive moments, choices that are like a fork in the road and either send you in the directions of a productive day or an unproductive one. The 2 minute rule states when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. The more you ritualize the beginning of a process, the more likely it becomes that you can slip into the state of deep focus that is required to do great things. Standardize before you optimize. You can't improve a habit that doesn't exist.
How to make good habits inevitable, inevitable, and bad habits impossible. In the summer of 1830, Victor Hugo was facing an impossible deadline 12 months earlier. The French author had promised his publisher a new book, but instead of writing, he spent that year pursuing other projects, entertaining guests, and delaying his work. Frustrated, Hugo's publisher responded by setting a deadline less than 6 months away. The book had to be finished by February 1831.
Hugo concocted a strange plan to beat his procrastination. He collected all his clothes and asked an assistant to lock them away in a large chest. He was left with nothing to wear except a large sword. Lacking any suitable clothing to go outdoors, he remained in his study and wrote furiously during the fall and winter of 1830. Then Hunchback of Notre Dame was published 2 weeks early on January 14th, 1831.
Sometimes success is less about making good habits easy and more about making bad habits hard. This is an inversion of the third law of behavior change: make it difficult. If you find yourself continually struggling to follow through on your plans, then you can take a page from Victor Hugo and make your bad habits more difficult by creating what psychologists call a commitment device.
A commitment device is a choice you make in the present that controls your actions in the future. It's a way to lock in future behavior, bind you to good habits, and restrict you from bad ones. When Victor Hugo shoot his clothes away so he could focus on writing, he was creating a commitment device.
Last second line, this is shut. We pronounce as shoot.
In short,
There are many ways to create a commitment device. You can reduce overeating by purchasing food in individual packages rather than in bulk size. You can voluntarily ask to be added to the banned list at casinos and online poker sites to prevent future gambling sprees. I've even heard of athletes who have to make wait for a competition, choosing to leave their wallets at home during the week before weigh-in so they won't be tempted to buy fast food.
is another example. My friends and fellow habits experts near Eagle purchased an outlet timer, which is an adapter that he plugged in between his internet router and the power outlet. At 10 p.m. each night, the outlet timer cuts off the power to the router. When the internet goes off, everyone knows it's time to go to bed.
Commitment devices are useful because they enable you to take advantage of good intentions before you can fall victim to temptation. Whenever I'm looking to cut calories, for example, I will ask the waiter to split my meal and box half of it to go before the meal is served. If I waited until the meal came out and told myself I'll just eat half, it would never work.
The key is to change the task such that it requires more work to get out of the good habits than to get started on it. If you are feeling motivated to get in shape, schedule a yoga sessions and pay ahead of time. If you're excited about the business you want to start, email an entrepreneur you respect and set up a consulting call. When the time when the time comes to act, the only way to build is to cancel a meeting, which requires effort and may cost money.
Commitment devices increase the odds that you'll do the right thing in the future by making bad habits difficult in the present. However, you can do even better. We can make good habits in, inevitable, 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 and bad habits impossible.
Yeah, about the inevitable,
Mm.
uh, I, I couldn't hear the stress,
At the second, right?
the second very clear.
Okay, so inevitable. Yeah, is it like this? Inevitable.
Mm.
Inevitable. Okay.
How to automate a habit and never think about it again. John Henry Harrison was born in Dayton, Ohio in 1844. He spent his childhood doing chores on the family farms and working shifts at his father's sawmill. After attending college at Dartmouth, Patterson returned to Ohio and opened a small supply store for coal miners.
Okay. This second line, second word, uh,
Sure,
chores. Yeah.
yeah, I
Okay.
pronounce
Yeah, chores.
chores.
And then, yeah, the third line, second words. This is Dartmouth.
Dark mood. Okay.
Yeah, it is not mouth at the second syllable. It seemed like a good opportunity. The store faced a little competition and enjoyed a steady stream of customers, but still to struggled to make money. That was when Patterson discovered his employees were stealing from him.
In the mid-1800s, employee theft was a common problem. Receipts were kept in an open drawer and could easily be altered or discarded. There were no video cameras to review behavior and no software to track transactions unless you were willing to hover over your employees every minute of the day or to manage all transactions yourself. It was difficult to prevent theft.
As Patterson mulled over his predicament, he came across an advertisement for a new invention called Ritty Incorruptible Cashier, designed by fellow Dayton resident James Ritty. It was the first cash register. The machine automatically logged the cash and receipts inside after each transaction. Patterson bought two for $50 each.
Employee theft at his store vanished overnight. In the next 6 months, Pearson's business went from losing money to making 5,000 in profit. The equivalent for more than 100,000 today.
Patterson was so impressed with the machine that he changed businesses. He bought the right to Ritty invention and opened the National Cash Register Company. 10 years later, National Cash Register had over 1,000 employees and was on its way to becoming one of the most successful businesses of its time.
The best way to break a bad habit is to make it impractical to do. Increase the frictions until you don't even have the options to act. The brilliance of the cash register was that it automated ethical behavior by making stealing practically impossible. Rather than trying to change the employees, it made the preferred behavior automatic.
Some actions, like installing a cash register, pay off again and again. These one-time choices require a little bit of effort up front, but create increasing value over time. I'm fascinated by the idea that a single choice can deliver returns again and again, and I survey my readers on their favorite one-time actions that lead to better long-term habits. The table on the following page shares some of the most popular answers.
I'd wager that if the average person were to simply to do half of the one-time actions on this list, even if they didn't give another thought to their habits, most would find themselves living a better life a year from now. These one-time actions are a straightforward way to employ the third law of behavior change. They make it easier to sleep well, eat healthy, productive, save money, and generally live better.
Okay, yeah, this is what I have read until.
Mm, yeah.
Okay, so how about I make a summary?
Okay.
Okay, so firstly, it gives some example, and then for example, to form a habit, and then we can make it like having a few phrases from starting from easy, the phrase one, and then if we can repeat doing the same action, and then maybe we can go to phase two, phase three, and more difficult after that. Yep, and then yeah, I think for this one it also apply on to break a bad habit. Yeah, maybe at first you try to break a little bit. Yeah, like the example of uh, becoming a vegetarian. Yeah, we can start it to uh, uh, take out some of the food choice. Yeah, and after that, one after another, and then yeah, it's also something like starting from uh, easy and then to more difficult. And then yeah, it says that there are some habits. Actually, they are at the decisive moments. Yeah, for this one, because once the habit start to take place, and then it will affect maybe the habits maybe uh, is only lasting for a few seconds, but after that, these habits will cause maybe a few minutes or few hours uh, because of these habit starts. Yeah, for example, sitting on the couch, sitting on the sofa, and then maybe we just lying there doing nothing for the whole afternoon, maybe. Yep, and then after that, Yeah, in chapter summary, also repeat again some of the important point. For examples, the 2 minutes rule. Yeah, for this one, yeah, it still stressed the importance of making habits easy at the beginning. So it's the third law, make it easy. Yep, and then after that we have one thing which is called commitment device. Yeah, commitment device. I think it appeared in our last reading session, which there is a guy called a taxi, and the taxi come and fetch him or her to a particular place to do a particular thing. So for this one, the commitment device can help us to lock our future behavior. Yeah. So the example today is someone go to a restaurant and then to to order a food, and then he said he would ask the waiter to split his meal into half, so that he would only eat he would only eat half of it. Yeah, and then he said that this is very important because if he waited until the food arrived in front of him, maybe at that time he couldn't make the decision, he couldn't take action to only eat half. Yeah, because of the temptation is very strong at that moment. So for here, the commitment device can help us from falling victim to temptations. Yeah, so I think these are my summary.
And yeah, about the 2 minutes rules, and we need to start from small, and then we shouldn't go too far. We can start from small and start from easy
Mm.
and just do it. This is the implication of the 2 minutes law, 2 minutes rules. But we don't have to break our every habits into 2 minutes. And because when we get started, and it will trigger the decisive moment. So the most important thing is to make your first 2 minutes as easy as possible.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And about about the commitment device, and I forget if it's a commitment device or actually there's another term which is about the character example.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they are not the same. Okay. But about the cat register, it is similar, like you create a system and then use the technology to control you, or maybe control the people
Mm.
automatically. So instead of building a habit, you use technology to make you to do something,
Mm.
to use the technology to force you to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is a great tool, and also this is also something like you use the external environments to influence you.
Mm.
So you don't have to you you don't have to use your self-controlling power to start a habit. Yeah, maybe after your quote unquote habits become your habits, you may you may not require to spend self-controlling power to do something, or maybe you just need to spend a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah. But at the beginning of the habit formations, you need self-controlling ability. This is also something we have discussed before.
Mm.
So one of the example that is we shouldn't start too much habit at one time
Yeah.
because our self-controlling ability is limited. Yeah. And by using the technology, it can actually reduce the effort of self-controlling ability.
Mm.
Yeah. So let's say, for example, uh, one of the one of the example in these reading sessions is about going to bed early. So there are some phrases. The first, you may lie down or you may sit on the bed, and then you need to turn off your phones, your TV,
Mm.
and something. And then like the next phrase, you can read some book, or maybe the next phrase, you can talk to your partner or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when the phrase two, I'm not sure if phrase two or phrase three, you need to turn off your phones, your TV. Yeah. And instead of turn off manually, you actually can set your phone automatically turn off,
Mm.
and
Yep.
then it will automatically turn on in the next morning, or maybe you turn to the black and white mode.
Mm.
Yeah. So instead of you do it manually, mm, and you use a technology to let it do automatically. So this is
Yep.
one of the example.
Yep.
And it also by doing this, it actually also reduce the frictions, because if the technology can, if the system, if the software can do it automatically, it require you do nothing. So zero frictions at this part. Of
Yeah.
course, there are some friction in other part, but it's zero frictions for you to to do some small thing.
Mm.
And the small things could lead to a decisive moment. So small things that doesn't mean small effect, small impact.
Mm.
Mm, yeah. So that's my summary for today.
Yeah. Yep. And then, yeah, one thing which is recently happened, which you share me the app, right? The Alarm Beyond, something like that.
Mm,
And yeah, that happened 2 days ago. Yeah, I actually before that, 1 week before, before that, I set an alarm, and then I need to inform one of my students to join a particular class because he missed one of it, and then he want to join the other, so that I make the alarm. I write it out. What is it about? Just a few words, 4 to 5 words, and then yeah, I didn't make it ring. It directly read out the things I have to do, and then yeah, in the morning, yeah, when I was charging my phone, and suddenly it reads the action I need to do. Yeah, so yeah, it was so good. Yeah, because previously when I have an alarm, the first feeling of mine is a little bit frustrated. Yeah, because that shouldn't be a time that will have an alarm, and
mm,
then maybe I have to go to my phone and then to see what happened, and then yeah, but for this one, it directly tell me what I should do. So yeah, when I go to my phone, take my phone, I directly do the thing I should do. So uh, I would say maybe that is uh, quite quite the same as some usual reminder, but just read it out. It will have the uh, uh, effect to make me to do the thing.
mm,
Yeah, it is different, and I won't like maybe procrastinate, do it later. Maybe it will, but less probable.
mm. And because sometimes we use the alarms, the music of the alarm same as the alarms we use to uh, wake us up. Is it?
Mm, yep.
Mm. Yeah. So we don't like the alarms to ring.
Mm,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. Anything else?
Um, yeah, one more thing which I apply in my life. I don't know whether this can be fit in the ways which is uh, suggested from this book. Firstly, I have two phones, and then one of it I put it on the table in my bedroom, so that it wakes me up, and then I take out my phone and then snooze the alarm. And after that, I set another phone, which is I actually put outside my bedroom, but just outside the door on a chair. And then, yeah, it will ring uh, 3 to 4 minutes after the phone in my bedroom. So it means that after I wake up, I drink water and then maybe warm up a little bit. I have to go out. I have to open my my door so that I can take the phone. And then if I didn't do that, the phone will ring, and then maybe it will wake my brother up because it is outside my room. So
Yeah.
I will have to go there before it ring, and
Yeah, I
then
think
mm,
yeah, I think this is similar to what we read just now, which is the commitment device.
oh, commitment
Is it?
device, block
Because you
future
have
behavior. Yep,
because you need to do something, right?
yeah,
And this is something you make a commitment in presence, and then you need to do in future. So you
mm,
set alarms at last night or maybe a few days ago, and then you put that at the living room. So that means, let's say if you put your alarms in the bedrooms, and you
yeah,
can just sit down and then use your hands to click one button on your
mm,
phone screen, so it can stop the alarm ring, and then
yeah,
you directly lie down again. But
mm,
if you put your alarms outside your room, then if you need to switch, if you need to turn off the alarms ring, you have to go out.
yeah,
Mm. Yeah,
yep,
and also one of the function I can suggest you
mm,
is, yeah, uh, uh, to suggest those people who may procrastinate and may turn off the alarms off,
yeah,
or may turn the alarm off, which is the same as the apps I recommend you, which is the, what is the name's alarm clock beyond, is it?
yeah,
Never mind. Yeah, because I realized that, but I haven't tried. Okay, the thing is I haven't tried, but I know there's some function which is you can allow the dismiss method. Instead of just press on screen buttons, you can change others. For example,
mm,
like walking, or maybe solve math problem, or repeat captcha code.
mm,
Yeah, I think the shaking. Actually, I try on another alarm app. This is
yeah,
not that effective because I just close my eyes, I just shake.
mm,
Yeah. So the soft math problems and walking. Uh, uh, for the soft math problems, I can pretty sure that it's effective because I tried in another alarms apps before.
mm,
Mm. And what you what you need to do is actually something like you uh, you can set your math difficulty. Yeah, you can set your math difficulty, and then don't set it too hard. Otherwise, you need to take your calculator. But
mm,
also don't set it too easy.
yeah,
Maybe two digits number. Maybe two digit number minus, yeah, one two digit number minus another.
mm,
Yeah. And okay, and what's the benefit to you is actually the first, it activate your brain. So after you did some after you did some mathematic questions,
yeah,
and in my last alarms, I need to do like, I think it's 20. Yeah, it's 20 questions.
wow,
So
so
after I
many,
did the, yeah, so after I did the 20 question, and okay, and it will spend you 3 minutes to 5 minutes actually.
mm,
Yeah, but if you procrastinate, and then it's worth to do it. But if you don't procrastinate, then it just wastes your time.
Mm.
Because if you can wake up directly, so you don't have to do that. This is the method for those people who are procrastinating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, the first benefit is it will wake you up and activate your brain. Because you need to think, you need to do some calculations,
Mm.
so that after you did the 20 question or maybe 10, or some people maybe find enough, and then you're less likely to sleep again. Mm.
Yeah.
So this is the first, and second is, and because every day you're doing the mathematics, so more or less it will it will improve, your uh the arithmetic
Mm.
ability, the
Yeah.
心算. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite useful in some circumstances.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Suddenly, yeah, I have an idea whether uh, it is possible. For example, if let's say if you try to learn some new thing, let's say is vocab, and then you can make it into question, and then the next day, for example, you have to type out the meaning of this particular vocab which you learned the day before, to dismiss the alarm. Is it possible to set the question by our own?
Not possible for these alarms.
Mm.
Mm. But I think it is possible to do the apps.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, anything else?
Um, yeah, just the example just now I mentioned, I put the alarm, I put one of my phone outside my room, and then actually I put a chair on it, and also I put my phone on the chair because after I take the phone, I sat on the chair and wait the alarm to ring, and after that I dismiss it, and I start to do meditation, just on the chair.
Mm.
Yeah, so to me, this works better than the previous method, which I only uh, to put a chair in my bedroom, and then I plan to wake up and then directly sit on the chair. It is not so effective. Yeah,
Mm.
for this one, because I already work out the room, and then at that time still a bit tired because just wake up, not more than 5 minutes. So I sat on the chair and then to wait for the alarm, and then when the alarm starts, I dismiss. I directly do meditation. I think this is very effective to me.
Mm.
Yeah, because I just have to sit there. I just have to sit there. So it's something like if I wake up and then go away, there will be more friction. So instead of going anywhere, I just sitting there and then uh, do nothing. So and then when the alarm starts, and then I start to do meditation. I find these very effective.
This is something like the heavy stacking, right?
Mm-mm, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. All right.
okay.
So
Mm.
yeah, these are my sharing.
Okay. That's all for our today conversations. How do you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? Please tell us what you think of our conversations. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocab or mistake that we made, please also comment to let us know, because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to like and subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.